Hello and welcome to my live. Welcome to my live where we are going to be ranking some palettes from my project palette day 65 project that I'm doing for this year, where I'm using a different palette every day for the next 365 days. Excuse me. I am snacking on some nuts and some craisins here. And taking a drink. I still need to take off my makeup and probably clean some brushes while we wait for people to show up and just have some chit chat. So I'll go ahead and I'm almost out of my cellar water here. I'll go ahead and start taking off my makeup here. I'll go ahead and put this. Hey David, how you doing? I'll go ahead and put this in my empties. How was your day today? It was okay. I'm just trying to unwind a little bit. Just trying to relax and getting home from work. I'm always kind of in a panicky mode. I'm trying to get everything ready and together and all that. You had an uneventful day. That's good. So I'm just having a snack and trying to relax right now. You went shopping for your cat? What'd you buy her? What kind of things did you buy for her? You bought the spoiled princess a lot of her special food. Aw, I bet she appreciated that. I was watching some cat videos at work today. They were pretty funny. She knew the bag was hers, did she, when you came in? They always seem to know. That was cool. Yes, I wasn't working. I was watching cat videos. Cats can both count and read, or at least yours can. Well, aren't they supposed to have the mental capacity of like a 3-year-old or something. Some like stray cats, I think, are even smarter than that. Well, I don't have any interesting stories for today. I did all that on my get ready with me this morning. Okay. It's just me here. Thank you for watching on the replay. If you are watching on the replay, I'm just taking off my makeup. Just trying to chill. Welcome in, welcome in. We're just trying to chill and waiting for people to show up if they're going to. I'm just sitting here. Oh, you're back already. Yeah, I know. You had to restart your laptop. Oh, okay. I'm still waiting for YouTube to give me back my hours that I lost. But I don't think I'm not holding my breath on that. I think I'm just gonna have to start back from the beginning. Or start back. I still have like 125 hours I have to make up for. When I was up to just needing 50 hours, now I need 125 hours. Thanks. I tried reaching out to them, but they never got back to me. Oh, I think I got a package from Ulta. Maybe we can open it and see if it's that palette and if it's crushed or not this time. Hi, Sia. How you doing? I think I got my replacement palette. How have you been feeling, Z? Okay, having a hard mental day. I hear you. Today's just been one of those bad mental days. It is what it is, just trying to keep yourself busy today. Yes. COVID free since Friday. It's a Monday, unfortunately. Unfortunately. But it's almost Monday that's almost over. What do you do to make your mental health days better? What are we doing today? Oh no, I'm not doing a look. I'm just gonna rate my palette. But I am gonna see if this package I got today is from Ulta. I'm gonna go get it here in just a minute. David, you're leaving us hanging. Oh yeah, her birthday. Oh. How long has it been since you've gotten divorced, David? I mean, aren't you over it by now? Baltimore, Maryland. That's right. No, I like my kids being 15 right now. Okay, I'll be right back. Just Okay, this is the Happily in Love palette that I got originally. And it came with this shade all busted up. I mean, it was irreparable. I mean, it was everywhere. So I couldn't press it back in or anything. So I called it, and it smells like spiced apples, I swear. So I called up Ulta. I just thought, I'll try their little chat GPT, whatever it's called, thing, and see how far I get with that. So they actually connected me with a real person, and they said, yeah, it is pretty palette. They actually connected me with a real person, and they said, okay, we'll just send you a new palette. I'm like, okay. To answer your question, Jennifer, I got divorced in 2000. To this day, I will not. Oh, goodness. Hey, Shelly. How you doing? I'm trying to open this without any scissors. I'm using a sponge. If that tells you anything. Okay. And this is the new palette they sent me. So let's see if it is any better. It's not. It's got the stuff all over it. Oh my, it's a different shade. Okay. At least it's a different shade. Hello, Navet. Okay, so I've got two palettes. It's this shade that's busted up now. I do not recommend this palette. Oh gosh. Okay, now I got two palettes with two different shades busted up. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Two palettes for the price of one. If you're just joining me, I was just doing my skincare. And I was just taking out my new palette that's crushed. This is the newest palette that Ulta sent me. Because the first one they sent me, this shade right here was busted. But I still have it. And now they sent me a new one, and this one was busted. Yeah, I can see about popping it out. I don't really have the tools to just pop it out. I'm afraid that I'll break. I'm afraid that I will break. Because these shades seem so delicate. You want that palette too? Let me swatch these shades. Well, they're both broken, Shelly. That's the thing. I can send you one of the broken ones. Because I'm going to swatch them now and see how different the shades are. You can use tweezers to pop it out. I don't know. I don't know if I want to play surgery on this. Let me swatch. Okay, this is the one that was broken. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that shade. That's the one that was broken the first time around. You just messing with me, Shelly? And this is the shade that's broken this time around, which is very light shade. I don't know if I would really use that shade. So I'm more apt to keep the second one than the first one. Plus, Shelly, I don't know if it would survive. I would not put it in a mailer. I would wrap it up really well and send it to you. Are you sure you don't want it, Shelly? I'll send it to you. But I would be sending you this one. All I've done is swatch it. I got this. I got the other one for free. Okay, I will send it with your blushes because I have not sent your blushes out yet. There's just one. The sparkling cider shade is the one that's missing. Okay. I still need to clean up your blushes and pack all of that stuff. Do I have cooties? Well, I might have some cooties, but I'll spray it. I'll spray it like I'll spray the I'll spray it down like I'm gonna spray the blushes down. Shame on me for not sending your stuff. Well, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shelly. I haven't sent it yet, but now you're getting more extra stuff. Of course, I have cooties. I'm a girl. Yeah. Yes, it's the Too Faced Happily in Love palette, Yvette. It smells like spiced apples, cinnamon spiced apples. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to put mine over here. I will be right back. And Shelly, I've got yours with your other stuff that I put aside. David, you're kidding me, Trevor. Spiced apples, yeah. Okay. Before getting into palettes, let's chit chat some more while I clean off my brushes. I'm not doing a look today, but I just need to get him prepped for tomorrow. So, what's a guy supposed to do? Have cooties? Cotton candy? Oh, I'm not getting a cotton candy smell. Get girls into trouble. You're too much sometimes, baby. But no, I think it's a problem with packaging. I will make sure that that gets wrapped up nicely in bubble wrap. I have a lot of bubble wrap over here. Okay, okay, I hear you. See, it's nice to be noticed. You're a lady. You're a lady, Shelly. Okay. Okay, let's talk about some palette. Now that I got all my makeup chores done and I'm ready for tomorrow. I have 31 palettes because the girl's working on her project palette 365, where I use one palette, a different palette every day for the next year. You don't fall for the puppy dog eyes. So I have 31 palettes here. Let's talk about it. Oh, of course, Shelly. Like I said, like I said, Ulta was nice enough to send me an extra palette. I wish they would have packaged it better, but oh well. I'm ranking these from the ones I like the least to the ones I like the best. Hey, Christine, how you doing? You felt like a kid in a candy shop. Starting out at number 31, I've got the Nomad. This is the Marrakesh Medina palette, I think. Yeah. Not one of my favorite, not one of my favorite Nomad palettes. Do you have this palette, Christine? Let me know, because I'm not really in love with this palette. I don't think I think this is one of the earlier palettes. And I don't think the colors, I don't think the colors come off all that well. I do love this yellow here. I do love this yellow. But the shimmers aren't that shimmering. It is very pretty, but the looks that come up with this one, I don't like that much. I keep thinking, oh, I'm gonna make a really pretty look with this one, and then it just kind of turns out kind of meh. But I just kind of blame it on the fact that it was one of the earlier palettes. but it does look very pretty. I will say that, and I'm gonna keep it because I love Nomad, and I want to collect all their palettes. But I got this on this is secondhand. The second that happened to me with the ColourPop Mandalorian palette, the gold shade, the force came broken. ColourPop sent me a new one, and that same shade still came broken. Yeah. Hey Joe. Yeah, these shimmers, they just aren't shimmery enough for me. They're more like satin shades. Which, there's a time and a place for that, but I want I like to have some satin shades, but I want some shimmer shades too in my palette. Oh, this palette is the ColourPop Lush palette. I think when this came out, it was really, really popular and people really liked it. And why am I not focusing? And I think it's this gold. It was really popular for its time, but there's nothing really special about it anymore. None of the shades are very special. Oh, you like this palette? Ruin it for fun. Like scratch out some of the shades and mix it with your foundation or something to create some. I might just set this aside for you, see, since you said that. Because I'm not thinking I'm going to be using this anymore. So I'll set this aside. I'll set this aside for you. You're not a fan of topper shades. If I have work on a shimmer to make it shimmery, and to me it's not worth it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll set this aside. I'll work on a pile for you, see. Okay, the next palette I have is the Lust for Dusk palette. Now I do like this one. I'm going to be keeping this one around. It's just I don't know. It's kind of like, see, I got this one messy. I've used this one a lot. It's just there's not a lot of light shades in here. There's a lot of midtones and a few dark tones in it. So I kind of wish there were, I think this is like the only light shade in here, but I will like, I like it when it has light. It's because you have a rotation of those same shades in other palettes, so now that one isn't as impressive to you. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Exactly. Oh, you're welcome, Steve. So this one, same thing with this one. I have a lot of these. I have a lot of these colors in other palettes, but I like I like having all these colors in one palette. You know what I'm saying? I just wish there were a couple of more lighter shades because I like to have a good selection of yeah, exactly. See, it's the same sandy warm tone shades as the other palette. And I do like the shimmers in this one. So this one is the ColourPop Lust for Dusk palette. Okay, one of the only ones I have from XX Revolution is the Matrix Morpheus palette. And this one I like pretty well. I just haven't used it a lot, I think is my only complaint. And I need to, well, I can't this year because I'm doing a different palette every day, but this is a good neutral palette with a couple of pops of color in it. It's still, I know, right? And like you said, we have all these colors. I have all these colors already. There's nothing new and exciting about these colors. But yeah, I like Revolution's formula. I don't know why like some bigger influencers always talk bad about Revolution's formula. Have I ever thought about making a suggestion to one companies on what a palette colors might go? That's called a collaboration. Yeah, it needs this green in there. They made a couple of different palettes. They made the Morpheus, they made the Trinity, and then they had this really big one that was like reds and blues, and that was the Neo palette. Yeah, they can sometimes be a hit or miss, but most of the ones I have are pretty good. Yeah, it's not a matrix color. No, it's not. The next one I have, I bought all the travel palettes from Nomad, and the one I say I like the least, yeah, Revolution and their sister brands are always a hit or miss. Excuse me. The one I like the least is the Nomad Abu Dhabi Zayed palette. These two shimmers, yeah, now they own BH Cosmetics, but I haven't seen BH Cosmetics come out with anything lately. I don't think. Why didn't y'all tell me I had something on my nose? Yeah, I Heart Revolution is pretty cute. These two shimmers right here. What am I trying to point to? These two shimmers are very similar. These two mattes are very similar. It's just not my favorite. If I had to get rid of one of the travel palettes, it'd be this one. But since I collect Nomad palettes, I will be keeping it. But also I had to go and buy because some palettes just do not have. Yeah, yeah, we're doing Nomad collab. This is just a magnetic palette. I had to just buy a black single, because some palettes just do not go. Just what fell? This this color just fell out. Why am I having such a hard time this week? And I don't know where it went. It's been a day, y'all. Okay, I'm just gonna put this one down. I don't know where that. I don't know where. I can't see where that shade went. Okay, I'm just gonna take a drink. Like I said, those two shimmers were the same anyway. Yes, we need to do the Drag Kings look. That's your B-Day request. I will find it when it's ready to be found. Okay, where's Miss Aria? Because it's time to drag in Jeffree Star. I did not care for this palette that much. And I thought I would because I love the color story in it. But I did not think this was up to his normal performance for his matte. I think he normally has great mattes, but this time around with this palette, I did not think you want this palette. Well, you're gonna have to, if you get it, just hear it from me first. I don't think the mattes are that great. Yeah, maybe I just got a dud though. Maybe it's probably my least favorite Jeffree Star palette as far as performance goes. But I will say the color story is popping, like as Miss C would say. It's popping on this one. Yes, I love the packaging. The packaging is 10 out of 10. Oh, I love this little. Yes, and the color story is great. You thought the same thing about the Conspiracy palette? And it has this raised. It's a little hard to open once you get it closed. But yeah, this green on the inner eye, after you do a little purple look and put this green in the inner eye, looks really good too. If you like want to think outside the box. Okay, let's grab some more palette. Yeah, definitely love the color story. Just the formula is just a little off. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Starlet palette, and it's just okay. It's just okay. I do like that it has 3 mattes and 2 shimmers. Yeah, you can do a natural, goth, kawaii, alternative, etc. with it. Yeah. I'm not going to say much about this one. There's just, I just do one look with this palette. And I took this one on vacation with me. So that's how I use this palette. This was another palette I took on vacation with me. This was the AOA Studio 9 pan color cherry blossom eyeshadow palette in Maruyama. And this just makes an really easy everyday look. I like the shimmers. These aren't shiny shimmers. These aren't shiny shimmers, but you know, sometimes if you're just doing an everyday look with something like this, sometimes you're not always looking for a shiny shimmer. But if you're buying if you're buying a Nomad palette, you want those shiny shimmers. But if you're buying a $1.88 palette, I mean, don't expect the shimmy shimmers. Okay, we're gonna see what happens with this palette. This is another travel palette. This is the Oslo Gardermoen palette. I like this one a little better. It's a nice dark and silvery palette. Thank you, see? And I'm just gonna hold it up like this. And I like this. I like that it had, like the other one, it just has two shimmers, but the shimmers, one's a little lighter than the other one. So I like that better. And it had a light shade and a mid-tone, couple of mid-tone shades and one dark shade. So I did like this one a little better. Yeah. But I will get to my favorite one later. It's very high up in the countdown. And then a palette that I really used to like, but it's kind of fallen a little out of favor, is the ColourPop Wannabe. Who's not looking for a shiny shimmer? Well, sometimes, like when I was out on vacation and we would be out in the summer heat, I just wanted a really simple look. To tell you the truth, I don't even know if I wore shimmers every day. I might have just been doing matte looks. This is the ColourPop Wannabe palette. I love, probably one of my favorite color combinations is yellow, gold, and brown. And this used to be like my favorite ColourPop palette for the longest time. I think the C3PO palette beats this one out though, because that has more golds in it than this one does. And this one's getting a little old, a little less pigmented. ColourPop palettes do tend to lose their pigmentation with time, unlike other brands where the pigmentation just keeps going and going and going. I have ColourPop palettes that just lose their pigmentation the longer I have them. And this one is starting to fade a little bit. That's just my experience with ColourPops. But this is the Wannabe palette. Okay, the next palette I have is a Natasha Denona palette. You got me up on the big TV. You're cleaning the stove. Okay, this is the Sunrise palette. I think I bought this on a Natasha Denona Black Friday sale one year. And I really like it to make sunrise and sunset looks with. Not my favorite Natasha Denona palette, but it's a very solid palette. Very good Natasha Denona quality. And make some cute looks. I do like to still, it may be out of fashion now, but I still like to make a sunset look. And I like to pull out this palette when I make it. And it's been used quite a few times and it still holds up in quality. So I really like using this palette. Very good palette. Okay. The next one I have is the Violet Voss. I always get compliments when I wear this one. It is called the Sun-Kissed Summer one by Violet Voss. And again, it has those browns and golds, but it also has these berry colors in here to add to it. And I always tend to get compliments when I wear this one. So I like to bring this one out a lot. So that's what that one looks like. I don't know if you can see it there, but yeah, this one is definitely a keeper. I've had this one a couple of years. Well, I've had at least 1 year. Just putting on some lip gloss. Okay, I've got some melt palettes too. First one is the Rust palette. I got this on sale from Sephora because you know their palettes cost like 50 something dollars. So when they go on sale for like $29, I'm always on top of that. So I got this one, and again, do I have these colors in my collection? Probably, of course I do, but I do love melt shimmers a lot. And I do like this random little mustard color in here, like using that. And we go from light all the way to dark, which I like. I like that that's how they do their colors. That's how they do their shades in there. They go light, dark. So this is their Rust palette. So I really liked that, and I've got another one here. But first, another palette that I took on vacation with me was the Naked Half Baked. Yeah, that's the Naked Half Baked one. Yes, that's it. I could get it open. I don't have a lot of Urban Decay palettes left, but I do still like this one. It makes a shiny look. This shimmer right here gives me life. This is a shimmy shimmer, Shelly, right here. This is a big time shimmy shimmer. What's it called? Breadwinner. Yeah, of course I took small palette. That's what you take when you go on vacation. You take the small palettes. That's why I buy small palettes, so I can take them on trips. I don't take my mega palettes on trips. So I took that. I'm always afraid if I take a big palette on a trip, it's gonna break. The shades are gonna break it. And then another Melt Cosmetics one that I got on sale from Sephora is the 27 palette. Again, this goes from light all the way to dark. So I like that. I love these kind of colors like this one here. And this one only has 2 shimmers in it. So with these melt palettes, they don't have as many shimmers in them, but I do like to make just all matte looks sometimes. But yeah, that's not a shimmer. You thought that was what was in all these huge purses women carry. You love your 27 palette. Yeah, the colors are really nice in there. Now here's some mega palettes for you. Okay, let me take this one out of the box. This one I liked a lot better than Gothic Beach. And I didn't think I would. You need to see if you have any small palettes worth taking on your trip. Yeah. Taking all the small pocket palettes, I like to call them pocket palettes. And so I don't have to take a huge makeup bag with me and just throwing them in there with my stuff. This I like better than the Gothic Beach palette, which I didn't think I would, because I didn't think when he first came out with this palette, I did not like the color story. But when I got it, and then I did that live where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use. We carry other things in our purse besides makeup. When I did that live where I made a look using this, I really loved the look that I did. I got an inspiration look off of Instagram, and then I made the look with this, and I absolutely loved it. So I do, and this is a good quality. Yeah, I have like 3 notebooks. Yeah, it is pretty colors. And I didn't really see the beauty in it at first. Bricks in there. Yeah, for anybody coming to give us trouble. So yeah, I have the Scorpio palette in here. I have it so low down because it's not so much a wearable palette as it is like making Instagram looks kind of palette. Yeah. And then for wearable palettes, like exactly, see, that's what I'm talking about. Bricks in case we have to protect ourselves. Okay, then I have the Morphe, another brand that I think is better than a lot of people give it credit for. Make sure you could. I used to wear heels, not so much anymore. I have the 35U. This is the Gilded Desert palette. Hit them multiple times. Gotta do the double tap, right, David? Okay, Christine. This palette is a good everyday summer kind of palette. This palette I wouldn't be taking on vacation with me, but I would be doing some nice work looks with this palette. Now, some of the colors are a little, you like the Gothic palette more than the Scorpio, but it could be because I'm a Virgo, LOL, maybe. At least double tap. There are some shades in here that are a little redundant. I will say that, but it is a good everyday kind of work palette. Okay, let's get into some more palettes. This I took. Hey, let's see how you doing. How's your day been? Heels are only worth buying if you can do the run test in them. I have some heels. I have some heels with some thick heels on them. So I think I could run in them. I don't buy those stiletto heel things. Okay, my next palette. Oh yeah, we got 2 Virgos in here. The next palette is another Urban Decay palette. I did take this one on vacation. This is probably the biggest palette I took on vacation because I wanted another palette with a light look because I knew I was going to be outside a lot of times. I do like platforms and wedges. I can't do skinny heels. Scorpio here. My twins are Scorpios. And they are definitely Scorpios. They don't tell me anything. They are very mysterious. This is a good palette, and it has some nice light shades, mid-tone shades, and dark shades. And this this shimmer right here is very nice in this palette. They're nothing spectacular. You like wedges. You can walk in wedges and heels. Hell no. My feet are too swollen and fat for heels. Oh, this is nice for an everyday kind of look. Yeah, a good everyday look. Okay, probably one of my favorite Jeffree Star palettes is right here. This is the pricked palette because I do like an orange kind of look. So I got this palette here. I always buy my Jeffree Star palettes on sale or when I can get a deal on them. I think I bought this for like $12 when he was having a really big sale. That Metal Mania one, yeah. You got it free from Influencer? Oh, that's cool. You don't think it's a U palette? Urban Decay's not as Urban Decay is I don't know how to say this. They're not pigmented enough. They're not when I use that palette, I can tell the shades just aren't that pigmented, especially when you use like a Jeffree Star or a Nomad Cosmetics or an Unearthly Cosmetics. Yeah, I tried to sign up for Influencer too, but they gave me a big runaround and I never got anything from them. So I really like this orange palette and like that it has a black in there too. That is my son. What did I tell you? It's just one of those days. Okay, I don't have the Metal Mania one. Yes, and that's the thing. As much as they sell their palettes for, you'd think you'd get some pigment out of it, but you don't. I have the original Naked palette, and that thing had some pigment in it, but they're just not what they used to be. And they're reselling or they remastered the OG Naked palette. I don't know if it's any good or not. The formula is soft. Okay, I've got the would I want to try the Metal Mania palette? Um, Let me think about that. Actually, yes, I would like to. I would like to because I need to add more palettes to my project palette 365. Oh, I'm eating peanuts and craisins. Okay, this used to be my absolutely most favoritist in the world, would always be on my number one list of palettes, most ever. And it is still up there. It's still rocking. This palette still rocks. Now I didn't get it when it first came out. I got it when they re-released it a couple of Christmases ago. But I don't think they have it in their collection anymore. But did I bring it up for everyone? I've already eaten it all. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, yeah. This makes a very nice evening look. Very nice evening look. And I used to always make peanut butter Built bars. I used to always make looks with this, but when I did my look, I didn't use that color. And this makes a very nice, very, very nice evening look. I will say that. And it still looks good. Not on the inside. Yeah, it is missing a red. This has a lot of shimmy shimmers in it, Shelly. A lot of shimmy shimmers. I do like this one for the shimmers. So I will say that. And then I got the Nomad Beachy Peachy, the Florida Keys palette. I still need to make some more looks with this. The reason it's not higher up is because I am kind of confused about what kind of look to make with this. Hey Nicole, how you doing? There's a lot of colors in this. Now, you want the ABH Renaissance palette? I don't think I've ever had that palette. Now, I know you've done a lot of looks with this, Christine. Now, I want to do some looks with it. I've done one look where I just made a peachy look with it. Now, I want to use some of the blues. And I want to make a look where I use this key lime color. Key lime time. But I don't know what to do. So I need to play with this palette some more. Like when I'm not doing Project Palette 365 stuff. You had surgery Wednesday. I hope everything went well. So that's on that palette right there. Then I have the Druid palette from Fantasy Cosmetica palette. The video I put up today was with the Fantasy Cosmetica, the Fighter palette. This one is the Druid palette. Good, I'm glad. Yes, sending you all the recovery vibes to you. So this one I think is my favorite of all the Fantasy Cosmetica ones I have. Yes, love the Druid palette. I have the Fighter, which I used yesterday. I have this one. I have the Bard, which I don't use that often. And I have the Rogue, which I really like. I really like the Rogue palette. What palette number am I on? I'm not sure. I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm on number 10. I'm actually on number 10. So you're here for the top 10. So I love a good green, grungy brown look as well. And then, okay, Lizzie, thanks for popping in. And then I've got the ColourPop Aurora Struck palette, which is, I wanted to save this one for January, to use in January or December. They have a Cleric palette. No, they don't have a Cleric palette. But I wanted to use this one in the winter time, but I just couldn't wait to use it because I really, really wanted to play with this one. And this is, again, one of ColourPop's You're Always Eyeing Fantasy Cosmetica palettes. Yeah. Yes, this makes such a beautiful look. So I really love using this. And I love the ColourPop Mega palettes because they're not like the Morphe ones always have really, they'll like use shades in their palettes that are very, like, two colors will be like almost exactly the same. They don't do that in the ColourPop palette. So these are always well worth the money. Especially, I usually buy mine on 30% off sale. Yes, the bigger ColourPop palettes are always worth it, especially if you can get it on a 30% off sale. So I like that one. And then a couple of Unearthly Cosmetics because they are probably one of my favorite indie brands, smaller indie brands. When I say indie brands, I always think of, yeah, it's giving Easter vibes, definitely. When I think of indie brands, I think of like e-commerce brands you can't buy in like Ulta or Sephora. Because if you think about it, like Rare Beauty is considered an indie brand because it doesn't have a parent company or an umbrella company. Yes, there are many looks you can do with that one. But when I think of an indie brand, I think of small brands that you can only buy like online. So yeah, I love Unearthly Cosmetics. I never bought anything from them when they were Alien Cosmetics. I only came to know of them when they were Unearthly Cosmetics. But I like this palette. This is the Lore palette. I've got Medusa on the front. And I made a really cool look with this one. And I also bought, they're always having sales. And I also got this Drizzle. Yes, I love buying from indie brands. In fact, a lot of my palettes are from indie brands. I got this lip gloss from them too. So I like this palette a lot. I love their formula. Another indie brand that I like is Glamlight. And this is the Dirty Martini palette. Again, grungy green colors with browns I really like. And I like adding in some golds with it too. So I like this palette. I have this one and the Chocolate Martini palette. So I like this. And I have the little bottles that they came in as well over on my desk over there. So we have this beauty here. And then another Unearthly Cosmetics one I have is the Fairy Frolic palette. I bought both the Lure and the Fairy Frolic for like 40-50% off. Yeah, Glamlight packaging is definitely up there when it comes to packaging. This one I really, really liked the look I made with this one. I love these colors. I love an interesting looking color palette, and I like 9-pan palettes a lot. I like 9 and 12-pan palettes. So we got this one going on, and this is the Fairy Frolic. And then we got another Glamlight one. This one is the Ghost Faceless. Yeah, Glamlight's indie. Yeah, you would think they were mainstream. I could sit here and do this all day. I'll just be like talking and doing this. This one, it doesn't look like much, but it really makes a really cool look. A really cool dark look. pull this out and do it around Halloween time for like a live or something like that. The martini palette is cute. Yes, it came with, they had a set called the Happy Hour. The Happy Hour set. It came with the dirty martini, the chocolate martini, the wine palette, and the margarita palette. And it came with 2 highlighters. That one that you got, and this one right here called the Pina Colada. So this is the one that I kept, and I sent the other one over to you. So that's what mine looks like. I know, everyone says where are the reds, right? That was like, your husband sells the foil and embossing plates used to make the packaging for some of these makeup brands. That's cool. It doesn't scream ghost face. That was the biggest complaint. That was the biggest complaint people had. It was, but I'm not a big fan of, like, I do like the Scream movies. I've seen the Scream movies. I'm not a big, I would say I'm a fan, but they're not my favorite horror movie. It's not my favorite horror movies. I didn't buy this because I love Ghostface. I bought it because I like the color story. And this shade right here is a really awesome, awesome duochrome right here. Yeah, the Chucky is more Scream because it has more reds in it. I would agree with you on that. Okay, we're down to the final 4. Okay, this is an older palette. This is the This was one of their Christmas palettes several years ago. This is the Amor y Mariposas palette. The brand I have the most palettes from is Nomad Cosmetics. I have about 18 to 20 palettes from them, especially since I bought all of those travel palettes. I know it's a crime. It's criminal, isn't it? So I collect Nomad palettes. So especially since I bought those travel palettes, I have over 20 of their palettes. Yes, this melt palette kind of is different from all the rest of their palettes. And it is beautiful and it's very pigmented. And even though I've had it for a couple of years, it is still very, very pigmented. And I made the most beautiful look with it. Unfortunately, I don't think they sell it anymore. But I got this palette for only $20. I was so shocked when I saw that they were selling it for $20. I was like, click, 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 and went and got this palette so fast. Yes, the Night More Before Christmas line, yeah. But yeah, this is one of my best deal that I ever got palettes. And it is such a good quality palette. Yes, love me a bargain, that's for sure. So, and you can make so many looks with that palette. Okay, probably another one of my very favorite, excuse me, one of my very favorite indie brands is Odin's Eye. And this is their Stone and Rock palette, Woodland Fairies. And again, love the green and browns. I love me a grungy look. I don't know, just give me a grungy look all day long. And their shimmers, oh my gosh, are second to none. I love Odin's Eye shimmers so much. I, have any of y'all had tried Odin's Eye before? Ever since the first palette I ever got from them was the Hella palette, and I just fell absolutely head over heels in love with Odin's Eye. And so, yes, I just tried the Moonwish palette. That's going to be in next month's review. So, yeah, so we got this palette, and I don't, you have a pretty large Owens eye. Yes, their formula. I bought way back in the day their Freya palette, and I thought it was horrible. The colors kept, like, just like tonight. Well, not out of the pan didn't fall out, but the colors kept falling out of the pan. And their shimmers were way too glittery. But then they reformulated, and ever since they reformulated, they have just been killing it. Okay, now my favorite Nomad palette that I tried this month was the Canadian Rockies travel palette. This one has greens and green blues. This color right here, absolutely. Especially with this color right here and these two shimmers on top. Oh my gosh, I absolutely loved the look I did with this. Well, Nicole, you need to get you some Onzai and Nomad. I don't know what to say. But this is my favorite of the travel palette. Absolutely, is the Canadian Rockies one. It's the most colorful. Right? You need to go get some. So this is the Canadian Rockies one. Love, love, love that. And then number one, let me take a drink. You have a highlighter palette from Odin's Eye. Number one is also from Odin's Eye. It is the Somani 2 palette. This is the sun palette. This one came out a while back. And I gotta say, I love these oranges and I love these purples. And then I love the oranges. I love orange and purple together. I That's what I'm trying to say. But then you can make a blue look as well if you're feeling a cool look. But you can mix, since they're complementary colors, you can mix oranges and purples together to make a really cool look. Yes, Owen's Eye is really nice. So this is my number one palette of the month. Is the Somani 2 palette. I've used this one several times. I've made several looks with it in the past. Yes, they are very pigmented. And like I said, the shimmers. Oh my gosh, the shimmers. I'm not I'm not swatching for a reason. Number one, I don't want to influence y'all to go out and spend your money. And number two, I would be swatching all day long. You're shocked. It's number one. You're shocked. ColourPop isn't number one. Is that what you're saying? Look, it's not me. It's not me that is Christine. It's not me that's obsessed with ColourPop. I think you're thinking of somebody else. My number one palette is the Animal Crossing quads from ColourPop because I love Animal Crossing. Those were cute palettes, yes. Okay, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Thank you so much for joining me for my live. Tomorrow we tentatively will be doing the yes, it is Gloria. We'll be doing the makeup club, guys. If I don't have to work overtime, if I do have to work overtime, would y'all be willing to do it on Wednesday night? I don't know if I have to do overtime yet or not. Yes, Nicole, we're so glad you made it. You're down to do it Wednesday if I have overtime. What about you, Christine? Well, we can talk about it in chat too. So we might be doing Tuesday night makeup club. Tuesday night, we might be doing it on Wednesday night. So we will just have to see about that. Okay. I don't know yet because I don't know. I won't know until tomorrow if I have to work overtime. So just keep a lookout for. I will post tomorrow. And Shelly, are you still here, Shelly? I imagine you're still having eye issues. Well, we'll talk to Shelly in the chat. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Yes, this was very fun. Okay. Thank you all for joining us, and I will see you either tomorrow or on Wednesday. So everybody have a great night and a great day tomorrow. And well, David, we're saying goodbye. So take care. And I don't know how to end this. So okay, bye.